This was me in 2019, and I still remember when one of my teachers said, Ayush, if you don't work hard now, you'll never have a good life. But what they didn't see was I was working my ass off. Classes from 8 am to 8 pm, and then slowly came 10th board exams, then class 11th, one exam a week, 11th board exams, then class 12, two exams a week, and after JEE, I thought it would be peaceful. But guess what? It's not. But in all that mess, I forgot something. It wasn't just about cracking an exam anymore. It was about proving something to myself. So I found my purpose, got back to it, gave my 100%. And here I am now. I know how tough it gets. So I want to make sure that you give your best. So let's get started.
Before anything else, if you're a normal student like me, don't try to be an expert. Because I've seen so many of my friends who are very intelligent, but they got deviated because they wanted to show that they are different. And finally, they end up with nothing. So, know your self worth and keep your record aside. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the best way to start studying a chapter.
You know we don't play, stay out the way. Check out this look on my face. I'll come say.
It was 8 pm in the night. We were having study hours, and I was having a bad headache because I was not able to complete a chapter. Then one of our chemistry teacher came to me and said, Ayush, this is not how you study a new chapter. Don't go from page 1 and study line by line. And then he said something that really changed my way of learning. This is when I got to know about the Prism framework. The first thing that you should do before diving into a new chapter is quickly take a preview at the headings, subheadings, and insert information like charts, diagrams to get a big picture. And then know the topics that you feel important. Then start reading. After a quick read, ask questions. For example, why is this concept important? How is it connected to what I already know? And after that, quickly review the entire chapter once again, focusing on the important points. Now, you'll have a good understanding about the chapter. And not only that, but you'll also retain information better and faster because you actually made decisions, made connections, and focused on the important points. This is also called horizontal learning, and the goal is to make yourself familiar with the topic rather than just starting from scratch. And once you do this, there is one more final step. M stands for mastery. But you may ask, how should I master it? What's the process? Here's the process I followed, and it worked for me. So take a pen and paper and note it down. Starting with max. Before starting a chapter, read all the formulas from your coaching material and then prove them. Yes, prove each and every formula and ask yourself questions. After that, solve the example problems from NCERT and A. Gupta. And then finally, set a timer and solve all the PYQs on your own without seeing the solutions. That's it. And if you still have time, go for any one book like Vikas Gupta or A. Gupta. And you're done. Then for physics, start by reading the theory. Use the Prism framework. Write short notes of important formulas and derivations. Then go through HCV examples and solve each and every problem from it. After that, set a timer and solve all the PYQs on your own without seeing the solutions. That's it. You're good to go. You also have books like Pathfinder or Resnick Holiday. But if you do not complete HCV and learn after these books, then I want to remind you once again, don't try to be an expert or be different. Keep your ego down and complete HCV. This is what our physics sir used to say. And remember, for maths and physics, it's all about recognizing the patterns and solving more and more number of problems. And solving problem is a serious skill. You get good at a skill by doing more and more of it. Finally, coming to chemistry, it's a bit different. For physical chemistry, as usually, complete Avasti. And for organic chemistry, make short notes and revise the reactions every morning, over and over again. And solve MS1 for problems. But for inorganic chemistry, there is no need to make short notes because every single line of NCERT is important. And we used to have a friend read NCERT like 60 times, literally 60 times, and he also got 8247 in JEE Advanced. By the way, don't just read, but come up with methods. And one more important thing is use mind maps for complex topics. Studies have shown that using mind maps can increase your memory retention by up to 30 or even 40%. The next thing that really resets your rack is planning and direction. Plan the entire week beforehand. Every night before you go to sleep, plan what you'll do the next day. and set deadlines, the realistic ones. Why? Because according to Parkinson's law, work expands to fill the time you give it. If you set a tight but achievable deadline, you will be more focused and productive. Start your day by doing the most challenging subject or topic first. I have learned this very late from my experience, but it's very important because your mind is very fresh in the morning and you can observe complex concepts easily. And once you do the hardest job first, the rest of the day is in your hands. And when you study during the day, don't try to study for 4 hours straight because after an hour, your focus starts to fade and you end up wasting your time. So work for an hour and take a 5 to 10 minutes break and work for another hour. Study in checks. Use those breaks to walk, grab a snack or simply relax. Talk to friends. But remember, no screens, no social media. And once you complete a certain topic, explain it to your friends or to the one who is struggling to understand the topic. According to Feynman, when you teach, you naturally break down tough concepts into simple ones, which will help you find and fix gaps in your own understanding. It's like truly getting into the heart of the subject. That's about planning and study. But one thing that really differentiates an average student from a topper is optimization methods, the ability to work smarter. I learned this from a topper friend who actually taught me that success isn't about blindly following routines, but finding what works best for you. For me, it was a framework I created and it worked like magic. Now, what's the framework for you? For me, starting my morning with the same work that I stopped yesterday night works really well. It feels like I have never stopped working. It keeps me in the flow state. And finally, when I write the exam, I do it in 3 rounds, from easy to difficult, and I make sure my energy levels are high. So, what works for you? Take your time and think about it. Sometimes, it's not about how much effort you put in, but how you optimize it. And here's a bonus hack. Before your teacher starts a new chapter, spend just 10 minutes Googling or watching a quick YouTube video on the topic because familiarity boosts your confidence and helps you observe more in class. And here's one final tip that made a huge difference in my journey. That is finding a study circle, a group of people who are as driven as you and who can push you to do better every single day. Trust me, studying alone can sometimes feel like climbing a mountain. But with friends, it's like having a team to share the load and keep you accountable. When I was preparing, I had a small group. We didn't just study together. We shared strategies. We cleared each other's doubts. And honestly, we kept each other motivated during the toughest days. So go, find yourself a circle. It doesn't have to be big. Just a few people. Or maybe even one who is serious about their goals. Because together, you'll grow faster. And before I wrap up, share this video with one damn friend who is part of your study circle or someone you think needs to hear this. With that being said, all the best for your exams. You are going to crush it. Stay focused, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the top.
Hickory dickory dock, back from the dead is a miracle doc. They counted me out, moment of truth.